Well, good morning everybody. Here I am in the workshop bright and early. It's not opening time yet. Been a little bit slow on trying to get some videos uploaded for you. But I had a vehicle turn up yesterday on a trailer because it's not registered, all the way from Yarraman. Now that's a couple of hours drive at least away, and it's a very rare one. You don't see many of them. It's a four-wheel drive. It's a Suzuki, but it's not made totally by Suzuki. It's a very different one. A very similar vehicle was made by Holden, called the Stockman. The thing is a utility, a cab chassis, very small, four-wheel drive. Let me show you. Here we have it. Now, they were marketed in different countries as different breeds of Suzuki. This particular variant, the MG410, and the different Suzukis had different MG numbers and all that sort of thing. This one is a 1 litre, 4-cylinder, and they made 43 kilowatts, which is all they really needed because they're not a heavy vehicle. Walking into the engine bay, the engine is Maruti Sunbeam, and they were made in India. This one's a 1997 model, being brought back to its former glory. Silicon hose, brand new radiator, and the thing had issues. And of course, when you want to bring a vehicle to me, I'm happy to work on it. It was pre-arranged. It did not have a muffler on it. This model did have a catalytic converter, even though it's only a 1 litre engine, and that's more than ample for what it needs to be. A lot of the Suzuki Sierras in the hardtops were a 1.3 litre engine. Now, I've got all the doors and windows closed here currently. It's 7:30 a.m. I don't open the doors until 8. So you're getting a bit of an echo. Please live with that. I'll show you what was roped into the back. Of course, none of it was any good apart from one little sliding flange plate. And I'll just show you quickly what it was and how small it was. Well, I've left the rope attached to there because I don't know if he wants to take any of that home with him or not. Probably not. Very rusted out. But the thing is the pipework size. Now, I've got some verniers on there. Now, I'm not going to use the battery side because it's never right. But have a look there. I've closed it up a bit. It's 32 millimeters. That's only 1 1/4 inches. The idea was, let's get it just that little bit bigger, not loud, just help it to breathe that little bit better, because the fuel prices are horrendous. In the United States of America, all we hear in Australia is people complaining about fuel prices, gasoline, petrol, same thing, different country. Add to that the exchange rate. It changes daily. But on this vehicle, that little bit of fuel economy is going to help. It doesn't need to be a powerhouse. It never will. It doesn't need to be. Well, without the doors open, it's a little dark in here still, but let's have a look inside this vehicle. The roof can be unclipped and removed. These ones, you could undo these and flip the windscreen down. Kind of interesting. That's probably why the hood release on these is inside the glove box, so you can lock it and people can't get in there and steal your battery. Okay, on the dial we have an indicated 107,425 kilometres. You can tell it's a real four-wheel drive because two gear levers. One for the main transmission and one for the transfer case. So you can go from two-wheel drive high range to four-wheel drive high range, four-wheel drive low range. Interesting concept for those that aren't in the know. There were actually some earlier Mitsubishis that had high and low range in passenger cars. And they were in some of the early Mitsubishi Colts. But certainly Mitsubishi in Japan did make them, and we got some here. Any New Zealanders there? Did you have the 2 gear shift Colts over there? Let me know, hit me up in the comments. I'll put it up in the air now and give you a bit of a look under. I won't record it going up because the building is enclosed and it's going to be loud. So count to 3 and it'll be up in the air. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And I've magically opened the front door. At the back end we do have a tow bar and a really cool place to keep your spare wheel up nice and high and protected. So we want to come around the tow bar and just have a little angle down, because there's no good coming out here and you have all the chuff to come up around your tail light. That's a sliding plate. They don't have a gasket. It's a belled front and it just cups onto the front. A slightly bigger, gone to 1 3/4" muffler, 1.5" inlet pipe work. So effectively, back up in 1.5", 1 3/4" barrel for the better flow inside and less back pressure. Back down to 1.5" again, which is still bigger than factory. Heaps of clearance everywhere, all mounted up. And I like to use mushroom headed mounts which stop the mounts from pulling off the rubbers. That little knob there stops it falling off. Same sort of deal on the tailpipe up here. Oh, bad videography, sorry people. There we go, so that's not going to go anywhere, can't fall off. And heaps of rear axle travel, heaps. They do have a large bodied catalytic converter. The bigger the body, the more chance there is of better flow. And of course they are braced up. They are braced up on top. Spring loaded at the front, so any vibration will not break anything. I can move that a little bit. And very, very, very tiny twin drop engine pipe. However, that's the way Suzuki did it, and in this case, Suzuki Maruti. Maruti is a Indian government-owned company which makes motor cars, primarily in the conjunction with other people, usually Suzuki. And the Suzuki Maruti company as such is 63.5% owned by Suzuki Japan. Anyhow, this vehicle is being beautifully restored, new springs, shock absorbers. I'll drop it down and give it a start up and you will get to see and hear what it's like. These are a proper four-wheel drive complete with transfer case. That's what that second gear stick was for. And they're big on rubber mounting everything. They don't want vibration, it's only a small engine, but still a full chassis vehicle. Would you like to hear what it's like? Okay, hang on a minute, I'll drop it down and we'll start it up. Right, a fire in the hole with lots of flows of electrons to a small engine. With being such a small engine, the choke is out. Let's see how quiet we are around the back. Lovely and quiet. Of course, when it's cold it's going to shake around a bit, and that's why I use the mushroom heads on the rubber mount rods. About the most you can hear is the air filter. So there you have it. Suzuki Maruti Sierra, sold overseas in the USA as a Samurai. Not a large four-wheel drive, not a high volume vehicle in Australia, perhaps larger overseas. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it. If you'd like to hit that little subscribe button, comments, hit the like, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it much. Trying to grow the channel, and you're helping me by doing it, especially if you watch the videos from start to finish. Thanks very much indeed. From Timothy Lloyd, Exhaust Specialist, aka Aussie Muffler Guy, here in Maryborough, Queensland.